CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
And good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Bobby Capel. We hear a lot of talk about the homeless population in Atlanta, but today we are going to be taking a look more specifically at homeless young people from the LGBT community. And we begin that discussion this morning with Rick Westbrook. He is the Executive Director of Lost and Found Youth. Thanks for joining us this morning, Rick.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so this is an issue that I'm not sure a lot of people think about on a daily basis. Walk us through some of the issues folks are having in the LGBT community.
Oh, absolutely. The population that we serve is tremendously underserved and suffers silently because our youth, our LGBT youth, aren't like the people you see on the streets asking for change or on the expressway. Our kids are going to do whatever it takes to fit in and look normal. We have an alarming rate of kids being put out on the streets when they come out to their parents simply because of who they are, whether they're gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgendered. And Lost and Found is there to meet that need.
So what happens in that scenario? You come out to your parents, and then they, in some cases, literally say, leave the house?
Yeah, they really do. I could tell you horror stories.
Give me some examples.
Okay, we've had parents that have put their youth out, or their child out on the side of the road, the expressway,
wow.
When they saw an email from a boyfriend. And I'm not talking at an exit. I'm talking just pulled over, got out with the clothes on their back, and luckily they had their handheld device so they could contact us. We've had parents drive their kids downtown to Peachtree thinking, and the kid thinks it's a trip, and they throw the bag out on the street at 5 Point Station and put the kid out and drive off and just cut them off completely.
What does it do to those kids?
It devastates them. You know, we know that nationwide 40% of the kids that are homeless are LGBT.
Wow, it's a very high number.
And it's incredibly high, disproportional to the general population. But in the Bible Belt here in the Southeast, that goes much higher. Our kids, when they decide to make that commitment to themselves, to be true to themselves, and buck up the courage to have the conversation with their parents, 56% of the kids in the Southeast are put out. That's not even a coin flip. It's all because of that wonderful book of fairy tales. You know, I say my prayers every night, but I can never imagine putting my flesh and blood out on the street, and that the parents today in the Southeast treat these kids like they're disposable, and it's not acceptable.
All right, so what does Lost and Found do?
Lost and Found is a little grassroots. Well, we're getting a little bigger now, but we're a grassroots organization that started 4.5 years ago. We thought at the time there were maybe 50 to 75 kids on the street, and that's from me going out with other activists and talking to kids and just getting their stories. But we found out since then through the city of Atlanta and their numbers and processing all that out, that we have hundreds of kids on the street on any given night in Atlanta, and that's not good. We have 24 to 48 hours to get to these youths before they have to do something illegal to survive, whether it's stealing from a store because they're hungry. A lot of kids choose to self-medicate with drugs, and that brings up a whole nother problem where they get addicted, and 80% of them are going to sell their bodies within that first 48 hours just to get money to survive.
So what can be done here?
What can be done? Start the conversation. You know, I can't believe that parents today don't know gay neighbors, gay coworkers. You know, start that conversation, and if they're having problems or they suspect that their child is LGBT or T,
right,
or any combination of that, reach out, do some research, Google it. You know, call me. I'm real easy to find. You'll see our numbers, our website all over the thing.
Well, we got it. What is your hotline number here?
We're going to have it on the screen.
We got it on the screen?
Yep.
Okay, we'll get that up on the screen here
and,
in a moment.
you know, I will help you
There it
find
is right there, by the way.
resources to work this out on your level. We've got to stop throwing these kids out because this is our next epidemic. Since the SCOTUS decision and the Caitlyn Jenner show, we've gone from seeing 75 kids a month in our drop-in center to over 300. We've quadrupled. Wow. And, you know, I'm from Atlanta. I'm a native Atlantan. I remember the old days. I've been with my partner 22 years. We've come a long way, but it trickles down to our youth because they see these positive images on TV, on YouTube, all over the place. And they think it's okay. The Supreme Court says it's okay to be gay and married now, so I'm going to come out to my parents. That's not always going to be a good thing. You know, I never want to discourage anyone from being themselves, but I want them to, the youth out there, to please do your research. Come to our drop-in center and talk to us about it. You know, we can give you the best ways to come out to your parents. We need to do everything we can to circumvent that disastrous. Everybody likes to hear the happy coming out stories, but for every good coming out stories, there are two that go horribly wrong.
All right, Rick Westbrook, thank you so much for joining us. Lost and Found, you saw the number there on your screen, so if you would like to talk to him, give him a call.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Rick. Lost and Found Youth has a big fundraiser coming up in the next 6 days. We will talk about it when Public Affairs on Beach returns after this.